What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Action Not Included. In the last episode, we had started making a second rocket and to get space resources and stuff. In between episodes, I have done some more work with our spaceport. Decided to expand it to 3 rockets, as you can see. 2 of them are currently off getting us space resources. The rockets are now set kind of inside of the asteroid, because before we had them higher and basically touching our bunker doors. We also have some water being dripped down here in the bottom on these bunker doors, and we're going to have like a heat barrier built in right here. And I believe I'm just going to use water and a couple of steam turbines to just siphon the heat off. The reason why I did this is because every time I kept launching rockets in between episodes, our automation wire kept melting, even though it was being made out of steel. And basically what was happening was, as the rocket was flying up, it was passing a ton of heat on to all of our automation wire and everything else around it. And there was nothing for the automation wire to dump the heat it was soaking into. So these aren't made out of steel. Okay, we'll have to fix that before the next. Wait, let's check our launch real quick, because I just sent those out. Okay, yeah, we should have enough time. So, but yeah, no, basically, just is what's happening to these poor power transformers was happening to all the automation wire and everything else in here. So we just had to figure out some way to manage the heat that was coming off of our rocket launches, and I decided ultimately just to always dump water down into the bottom down here, so when the rockets launch, they'll flash everything in a bunch of steam, and all that steam will basically consume the heat the rockets are spitting out, and will help keep our rocket silo cool. That is the plan, but we'll have to see. Why did that? Because there's no power. Because there is no power. Alright, and then we need to turn these off because they're not clear for launch anymore. I mean, you're already launching, so I don't think that's going to stop you. But that's okay, we'll fix that. That's not the end of the world. I am a little annoyed that happened, but there are worse things. Yeah, as you can see, we're getting a nice steady amount of steel to build with. So we're getting less problems with our building and stuff. So the main focus for today's episode is going to be twofold. In our rockets, we have unlocked the hydrogen engine. So what we need to do is actually make liquid hydrogen and oxygen for fuel. That's the plan there. And then the other thing I want to do is down here, I actually want to build a sour gas boiler, and I want to bootstrap it onto our magma shot right here, which will involve some heavy modifications to our current setup here. Mostly it's just going to be stealing the heat. Yeah, and we're going to be redesigning the whole oil boiler and the whole setup. I've already set up a little slickster farm down here We have a bunch of slicksters over here that are just kind of being free ranged. We're getting a couple of the molten ones, and they are just consuming all of the carbon dioxide. We had tons of carbon dioxide, and now we have significantly less carbon dioxide. So it is it's a good thing. We still have a bunch of carbon dioxide here. I am tempted to repressurize the asteroid with oxygen, but what I think we need to do is we need to shut off our system over here. Okay, I already did that. I was just drawing in all the free range oxygen to make oxalate for catalyst, but I decided to stop that for now because we need the gases to pressurize more properly. Over here on this side we have like 13K, so we just gotta wait for everything to kind of rebalance. We need to do a lot of digging and other stuff, but anyways, back. Stop getting distracted. We need to redesign our entire oil boiler system down here so that way we can add on a sour gas boiler, so that way we can get double duty out of our magma. And the best way to do that would be to actually start. We're going to seal off this whole area so they can't get into it anymore. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be the play. And we will have to redirect some of these. What is this? Is this the chlorine pipe? Oh. Okay, yeah, we'll have to rework that chlorine pipe because that chlorine pipe is currently feeding our farm in here. Granted, we don't have any chlorine to put in there, but that's what it's doing. And then what is this liquid pipe doing? This is carrying water. We can realistically just bring that down a bit. Okay, so I'm going to redesign. We'll lay out the redesign for our oil boiler along with the addition of the sour gas boiler to this off this other side. I think we're going to end up modifying our room over here and some other stuff. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out both our electrolyzer setup up here and our cooling system. We're just going to use the saltwater geyser right here. Actually, no, what we're going to do is we got all of this excess water lines I have running up, and we're just going to focus all of the water instead to go into the electrolyzer. So all the excess water we're using, we're going to use. Yeah, I'm going to lay it out and I'll show you guys. I'll be back after I get it all laid out. Okay, so I have our Hydra. That's what I know it as, so that's what I'm going to call it. I have our Hydra laid out here. I know it's a little hard to read what's going on, but we basically have two sets of electrolyzers in 2 rows of 5. We have automation set up to turn both of them off. We have the water set to power, sustain all 5 of them with some water reservoir tanks. We currently have all of our excess water lines being tied together and then being pushed off with a bridge to fill up these tanks, so we always have excess water to make sure that they don't run out of water. I'll figure out some way of running like some sort of bypass, so if these get full, we can still vent off excess water. But for the most part, that's how this is going to work for right now. We have power transformers that are going to be powering everything. And then we'll sub another power transformer to run the the pumps down here. Once that gets all built, we'll vacuum it out. Since we already have access to just a hydrogen and a oxygen line, we'll once we get all built, we'll prime both sides and everything and whatnot. So that's pretty much how this is going to work. That's how it's all laid out. Once it's actually built, I'll probably go back over it, so it looks a lot better and a lot cleaner than having all just dig commands and stuff. And then, whereas down here, we're working on getting this all sealed up. We'll fill it up with blocks and stuff, and then we'll be good. And we'll just shift all of this down. But it's just, this one's going to be taking more time in the background to get done. So, it kind of is what it is. This one's going to be more of a slower process because we are kind of actively using this right now. So, but once we get this all done up, it'll be all set. So, but yeah, I'm going to do a montage of getting that SPOM built, and during that we'll be getting this kind of prepped. And once we're ready to make this move, I'll come back in. So. Okay, so we're at the more important critical part of this, where we start adding fluids. I believe I'm going to choose to go with yeah, we'll go with high temperature. We'll go with crude oils. Enable auto bottling. Copy. Apply. I believe you want is it 100 total? So no more than 200 is what I believe it is. Give me one moment to double check that. Okay, after double checking with the internet, it is 200 per fluid. So, which is basically one delivery at a time. Which is not, should be pretty easy. We just gotta watch it, pay attention. But yeah, we're gonna do crude oil and then we're gonna do petroleum. And what we do need to do is we also need to finish boxing that stuff in. Actually, we should do that one at a time. Oh yeah, and I'm doing it with the wrong tile. I'm glad I was looking at that going, man, something seems wrong. Okay. And anybody bringing? It is low on the priority. What if we just make it a 9? Now we got somebody bringing it. Awesome. Okay. We'll just do this one at a time. Bam, bam, bam. I thought somebody was bringing. Oh yeah, I'm just impatient. Got it. And I think you brought too much. Oh no, you only brought 3 kilograms. You barely brought anything. Okay. Let's check. See what we got. Let's come down here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. This has access to 623 kilograms. Yeah, I mean, that should be enough. And this is some petroleum. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Okay. So that should be good. How much did you bring? All right, see now you brought an actual delivery of crude oil. Thank you. Oh. So we got both of these, huh? Okay. We'll set those to 1. Oh, no, we're going to cancel that. Because realistically... Ah, son of a... yeah, I think it should actually be fine. There wasn't even that much crude oil. You guys are jerking my chain right now. Oh. No. I don't. Okay, I'm glad I noticed that. What are you doing? Okay, you're building. Why are you... Oh, because this... How is this over auctionated? Like, that doesn't... This is up here. This shouldn't keep... No, that little piece of hydrogen can't be causing all those problems. But just in case... I got a way to fix that. All right, perfect. And now we do this one. And this one. Actually, we could make these 9. What you got? You bring in oil? How much you carrying? Oh. Slacker's amount of oil. I need somebody to bring a little bit more. How much you got on you? 128. Where are you putting that? This isn't... This... Oh. How much is down there? Yeah, no, that doesn't need any more. I mean, that actually is like the perfect amount to put down there. Which means we don't even need that anymore. This one still needs crude oil though. Alright. You know, I'm not a huge fan of you guys not getting the full 200. Okay. We'll get that solved with that real quick. But yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to do. And then we'll come back and we'll have the dupes dump at like roughly 200 kilograms of petroleum. And then we'll seal it up and then we'll rinse and repeat. And there we go. There's the petroleum coming in. How much are we getting? Is that a full delivery? Yeah. So this one's done. Deconstruct. Oh, no. Don't deconstruct. Alright. But yeah, and that is, you know, how that will work. Then we'll seal it up. And move our way on up. So I will see you guys after I get that done. Okay, so we are almost to the point where we can use our SPOM. We just have to vacuum it out. As you can see, I'm getting that prepped up right now. Yep, I'm just getting it prepped up, getting all the gas pumps and everything installed. We're probably actually just going to switch all of our oxygen and hydrogen needs to this. Realistically, this should cover pretty much everything. So we're just going to put in enough gas pumps to convert over to covering all of our needs for all of our docking stations and our base oxygen and everything, including our liquid oxygen setup. So this should cover hopefully everything for the most part. But yeah, no, we're just going to get this all vented out. And then prime it. Both of them. And we want to prime both of them with hydrogen and oxygen. So we'll actually be stealing hydrogen and oxygen from our current setup just to make sure that we're getting it done properly. I will see you guys after we get that all vented out and everything. I just wanted to give you an update as to where we're at on getting this up and running. And we're actually getting closer to getting this moved and repositioned. I just keep forgetting to come down here to keep filling this in. But we'll get that taken care of. And I will see you guys when we get this thing ready to fire. Alright, so we actually have both sides properly pressurized to like 5,000 kilograms or 5 kilograms. So we should be able to hopefully turn this on and have it properly work. So nice and slow. We'll toggle these. And we'll watch our gas overlay. And we appear to be working. Alright. And if we fire this one up, we can speed it up. We are good. Alright. Okay, so we'll let this get gassed one more time. And now what we can do is we can run hydrogen for our soon-to-be liquid oxygen. So there's that line. And we can run this one. We want to run this one so that it goes back. Basically, it feeds into this line right here is what we're trying to get to. Yeah, so the way I was heading was actually not bad. No, we want igneous rock. Why were you... Why? I don't know why I was using granite. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we just want to run it down like so. Actually, we'll want to... You know what? Yeah, we want to bridge it on so that way we're taking the hydrogen from these first. How is there salt? Yeah, okay, apparently we need to get in there and get that thing dealt with. Alright, that thing kind of exploded. I did not know that this place is not good. Alright. That's fine. We'll get that sorted. We're gonna get that sorted. That's gonna come down. It'll come out. And now what we need is I'm not sure how many we're going to have, but we're going to start with that many outs over the hydrogen line. Yeah, we'll just tie into these ones here. Then when we have at least another 3 more pumps, we can get out that way. We can probably bring a couple, if we want to bring a couple more down and further around, but we can route at least 6 oxygen pipes for now. The new hydrogen line is going to get ran. we need to run a ladder. Okay, so this should help solve our power issues, because now we'll be converting I'm not sure how that broke. We'll get somebody in there to fix that later. Coming in from the hydrogen. I don't understand how that. And they should have nothing but water going up them. Oh, I bet if when they dump not water and it goes past the pumps have a chance to suck it up. Okay, well, it is what it is. Maybe we'll put like a filter here or something if it keeps being a problem, and just route it back over, like not clean water gets filtered out. I hope it's not a problem. So get annoying. Alright, so we now have this project done. Son of a... I knew I should have been a little bit more patient with that build. Alright, but as you can see, we were getting this kind of cleaned up, filled in. Yeah, filled in. But yeah, this will get this all filled in with blocks, so that way we don't have to worry about vacuuming it. And it'll also help figure out exactly how big or now that we're getting more consistent hydrogen power, we should be able to actually start launching the rockets again. I stopped launching rockets because we were just lacking on power, which seems kind of weird, but unfortunately we don't have enough power to open and close the doors and close the gantries and stuff. It all breaks, so. But yeah, so the plan is to basically drain this by tearing this wall apart, letting all the petroleum flow down and through. We'll have to basically restart the process, the boiler again from the scratch, but it's okay. At this point, we'll be ultimately just using the boiler as a natural legitimate replacement to the refineries, because we'll be having the sour gas boiler getting built, which is what we'll be drawing most of our power needs from. Will be natural gas. But I'm going to get this backfilled, and I will see you guys after I get this ready to get remodeled. Alright, well, we are basically at the point where we are ready to shut this thing off. And the first thing we need to do that is we need to disable our automation. And we want to disable it right here at the door, so that way the door is pretty much permanently sealed and will not be letting any magma fall through. And then we just kind of let it cycle through. Once we let it cycle, once it's done cycling, then we will have to start draining the petroleum out of the system. Which shouldn't be that long, but definitely longer than I feel like making you guys wait. So I will see you guys when we are ready to start draining the oil. It's going to be kind of a lot of cuts and whatnot. It's a whole lot of waiting and emptying and then, you know, ripping it apart and putting it back together and stuff. So, okay, so our magma's been cleared. We're ready to go. We have the magma shut off so we don't keep adding more in. We are pretty much ready to go. We are pretty much out of power also, which is perfect because we needed to deconstruct that power line. Actually, no, we need to leave that connected still because we still need to drain this down. Oh. Shoot. Alright. Let's reconnect the power real quick. So I forgot we still need the power to drain the to pump it out at least. Oh. I mean, I guess I could have opened this up right here and just dumped the petroleum out. Oh. You know, I am super tempted to do that. Basically, pumping it out would be the smarter play. Just so we can have fuel. Oh yeah, I started having the dupes refine wolfenite over here to make tungsten because I was looking at this and it said that we were missing tungsten to make thermium, which we could then just convert all of our tungsten over because we don't really need that much niobium to make thermium and make our niobium go way further. I think that's what we're gonna do. What does this say we need? We need to find borax and thermium. Well, we're getting ready to make thermium now. We're just going to say forever on that. And then we're out of gold amalgam. Out of aluminum ore, so the only thing this will do is wolfenite right now. Which we can actually set this to wolfenite. Okay, there we go. We got that. Okay. What is... Huh. We're getting some power from somewhere. I'm not sure from where, though. I'm not going to complain. But we definitely need to, like, make 2 separate power grids. We are easily at, like, almost over... We're over double of what the power line should be handling. it can handle like 50K. We're pushing almost 120 potential load, so we realistically need to have it split up. Okay, so we're not pumping anymore. So that means we can come in and start having them rip it apart. And basically what we're going to do, we're just going to dump all of the petroleum out, get it all pumped up and out. Actually, we want to set this to above 0. So, because we want it to just pump it all out, up and away. So I think we're just going to do a quick montage of them ripping this apart. And I'll be back after we get it all dismantled. Okay, so while we're waiting for this to finish pumping the ethanol gas out, I'm going to explain my thought process and how we're going to do this. We're actually going to be moving the boiler to the other side, and that's because the boiler is shorter and doesn't need as much height, so it fits over here better. So we're going to be moving it to that side. Yeah, that's basically that. Let's see, am I putting that correct? Actually, no, we don't want that. We want a door there. And then diamond on top of it. But yeah, no, we're going to put the petroleum boiler on the other side. And then over here, since we have a lot more height, this will work a lot better for a sour gas boiler. Just because of the size of the box. It'll just work out way better. But that is the plan. But I think I'm going to end up ending the episode a little earlier. As I wanted to get this whole build done. But it's not looking like it's going to. So what I'm going to do is between now and the next episode is I'm going to lay it all out. And then explain, why I did it the way I did it. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like I will, this is definitely going to be making the episode way too long. If I try to wait to have this all pumped down, built, even with making it a time lapse. So, while I finish getting this all laid out, I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.